When I first moved to Los Angeles, one of the first creatives I connected with was Richard Cabral, actor, poet, and storyteller. He's someone whose journey from the streets to the stage and screen has been extraordinary. Richard's early life story has been documented and told. His time in prison, his rise as a celebrated actor in film and theater. So today, we're not focusing on that part of the story. In this conversation, Richard opens up about what really drives him now: art, culture, and the power of true community. From the lessons he learned in isolation to the ways he continues to grow as an artist, he's candid about creativity, mental health, and authenticity in every aspect of life. This conversation is a deep dive into his mind, his craft, and the culture that fuels him. And in a special reveal, our friendship and collaboration has evolved into something new. We'll be collaborating on Richard's podcast, Resilience. So make sure you look out for Richard in the interviewer's chair next time. If you enjoy this conversation, please remember to drop a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Rich, my guy. Yo,
brother.
Thank you for coming through.
Of course. It's my pleasure, man.
Yo, man. So look, me and you, we've connected for a little while now. And
right.
I want to talk about how I first met you, because I think that was the moment that really captivated me when I saw you do your poetry at Tia Chucha's.
Yeah,
right?
Tia Chucha's.
So I went over there. I didn't even know, bro. Can I tell you that the joke is that I was going there for the book launch, the Blood In Blood Out book launch, but I knew Merrick Morton was gonna be there.
Right.
So I didn't really know who he was.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, let me see who this guy is. I'm gonna just type in his name into podcasts. Right? Type his name into podcasts.
Merrick.
Yeah.
And then my podcast
Your
from Merrick. That's right.
So I'm on the drive.
Yeah.
On my way to Tia Chucha's, and I'm listening to the podcast, and I'm already like in the podcast. Where I was like captivated. I was sucked in.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, who is this guy? This is a good podcast. Because I'm just listening to it. I'm not seeing
you ain't no faces.
If I would have seen your face, I would have known. But I'm just listening to it, right? So then I get there, and you're one of the first people that I see.
Right.
Remember, I saw you.
Yeah, in the back.
In the back. And I went over and I introduced myself to you, and I'm like, yo, I'm a fan of your work. I love what you do, bro. And then I come to realize that I'm putting it together. I'm like, I was just listening to your podcast. Merrick is here. And then I saw you perform. So I just felt in that moment, bro, like the energy was like, I'm supposed to connect with this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But long story short, I picked up this book that day, bro.
El Corte, yeah. Thank you,
Corte,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
This book.
My new book right there.
I've read it. I read it already. You know, it's a nice short read.
Yeah, it's a shorty.
It's good. But this book is really beautiful, bro. It's really beautiful. And I think because I had the privilege of watching you perform it in the space live, like you picked out one of the poems and you read it live.
Yeah, bro.
And that really, I was like, yo, this guy, authenticity is for sure something that I know gets thrown around with your name,
right?
But also passion. The passion was just so evident, man.
Yeah.
Tell me, I'm sorry for the long-winded intro, but tell me about this, bro. Tell me about this book. Man.
Yeah, so El Corte, that was my second poetry book right there. It was never my intention to publish poetry or to, right? I segued my life from being, incarcerated, a product of the, of the school to prison pipeline. And I just wanted to have a good life and have a good job, but everybody out of prison comes out thinking. But poetry, right? It's my first relationship to storytelling, right? I think writing as a juvenile, right? Like storytelling is writing your letters, right? No one ever writing letters is storytelling. And I was trained in that. From 13 to 27, I was incarcerated, so I wrote letters, right? And then poetry, I think there's an organic relationship with poetry and rap. And I say rap and hip hop because I'm from LA. And that from the early 90s until the present day, rap is the sound of LA streets. Always has been since it came and always will be, right? And so I think there's an organic connection with poetry and hip hop and rap. So it just came organicay. I used to do music also, right? I don't want to skip that part. I used to rap.
We're gonna get into that.
I used to rap. I used to. I came back and did it, but like, it's in me, right? Like, and I think once it's in you, it's in you. And for me, like, it's something that I always have to feed, right? It's part of me, my artistic aura, spirit. That part is part of me. So picking up poetry just kind of, again, it happened organically. And I think with poetry, right, like I think I really became a real poet when I started training as an actor, because I took like my street and hip hop experience and really started like merging it into poetry. But if I'm gonna talk about poetry, I cannot say the man that influenced me the most. So one of my favorite playwrights is Stephen Ali Gergis, and I think before that, like what for me, like Stephen writes about New York, about the real streets of New York. And I think there was so much connection to that, because what's real is real, right? If you're speaking from the heart and if you're speaking from the streets, that same feeling and stories translate from New York, or from Lower East Side to East LA, right? And that's just what it is. The barrio is the barrio, right? No, and so, but before Stephen Ali Gergis, there was a man named Miguel Pinheiro.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Pinheiro, right? Rest in peace, Miguel Pinheiro. And for me, when I heard that man, right, when I seen that man spit, Boricua, New York, Lower East Side, 1970s, right, heroin addict, like he was the only Boricua from the barrio to have his play Short Eyes go on Broadway in 1970, right? So when I seen Miguel spit, right, and it was this fucking thing that hit my heart, and I had never heard a Raza Chicano spit like that, right? Like, and what was Miguel? It was raw. What is poetry? Raw. Hip hop's cool, but we don't need no fucking beat. And poetry, your heart is the beat, right? Do-doom, do-doom, do-doom. And when he hit that shit, and I did, right? That was my fuck. I wanted to do poetry, but I was a rapper. I wasn't a poet yet, right? And I was like, how? And honestly, it was reciting those poems, memorizing, hearing that beat, and then taking that Boricua beat from the Lower East Side and just being like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take what I'm gonna take, but I'm East Los, I'm East LA, I'm an East LA Mexicano Chicano, right? And that was it. Like and he is what honestly made my poetry and deliverance be what it is today. Right. And I think with poetry, like it's like we are trained. You talk, right? We're trained to talk English, Spanish, whatever you say, but you're trained, right? You have to stay within this box, right? If not, people will not understand you, right? The sentence happens, you put a period, a comma. We're trained to understand communication.
Right.
And what poetry is, it takes all that training and blows it out. So you can still communicate and speak from the heart without having to follow a pause or a rhythm, right? And that's what poetry is for me. It's to be able to communicate in the purest form, and that's the form from the heart, right? And so, boom, all right, I'm on that trail. I will always talk to the men and women that are incarcerated in the United States and throughout. That's what I do. I came out and I connect with them. I'm in Orange County Juvenile Hall, talking to a group of young men between 15 and 19 that are all fighting life sentences and big crimes, right? And I'm telling my story and I'm sharing art with them. And when I shared poetry with them, they all stood quiet because they never heard of poetry.
Right.
And it just right, like this is LA. I'm in the entertainment industry. Shit happens fast, but sometimes I don't realize how far I came, right? And like when I looked at them, I was like, "Oh fuck, you fools don't even know what storytelling is," right? And for me, like why that was huge, because storytelling is the only way that I was able to, my first therapy, to understand my trauma. It's not just a way to communicate; it's a way to understand and facilitate your trauma, right? It's a way to get it out. So they were like I did a poem for them and they were blown away. And I asked them, is this some of your guys' first time hearing? And they were like, we've never heard poetry. And they were the reason why I wrote my first poetry book.
Beautiful, man.
I self-published that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write. I had a stack of poems, right? Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to give you guys a poetry book. I self-published that one. That was called Vida, right? And I did it for them, and it was. But again, I'm a Hollywood actor. I don't want to be a book. I don't want to have, my whole thing wasn't try to publish books, right? So, but I knew it had an impact. But so this one was like, that was probably like 8 years ago, and this opportunity came. I want to shout out to JC Hat and Beard, right? He was a dear. He's the one that hooked me up with Merrick Morton. It was kind of this. And like, they offered to publish another book, right? They're like, what about your book, Rich? And I was like, I've always write. So I had a stack of new work, right? And so that's kind of where that book was birthed from, was born from. And yeah, like it's resonating. I'm super excited and super proud of it. But it's something that it's like my secondary art, right? Like, because my real-time art and career is movies and television and all that.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love your story too. We're not gonna dive too much into your story,
right?
Because I've heard you talk.
Yeah, my story's out there. Like, that's it. And it's like this, right? Like, I don't accept all invitations, right? But like, so people hit me up to tell my story all the time, but I tell everybody, like, man, my story's already out there.
Yeah.
It's already out there.
It is.
Like,
it's told well. You've done like
I've done well, right? And I'm sorry, people that hit me up that have their platforms, and I get it. You're kind of trying to use the story, and I would, but if you don't got it like us, then I'm sorry.
That's what it is.
You should have hit me up 10 years ago when they were barely trying to.
Exactly. That's why I appreciate you being here too, bro, because I know you get lots of requests, but more than anything, like, the story is out there. I know your journey. It's a beautiful journey because it starts with so much trauma, trials, and tribulations, and where you end up today. It's beautiful.
Right.
And again,
the story's still going.
And it's still going. Things like this come out of it, right? Another thing that I'm excited about was what we first started talking about was the podcast. Yeah, I have my own podcast. I've worked on so many podcasts. I just like the art of conversation.
Right.
To me, it's like this moment that me and you are having. This is a piece of art. This conversation is not going to happen this exact way again. It's like we're making something right now. And when I hear a good conversationalist, I take note because I'm like, oh, this person's really interesting in the way that they approach conversation. So again, with you, bro, I've watched obviously every episode of your podcast.
Right.
I'm happy to say we're going to be doing your podcast too.
Yeah.
So
that's the big thing right there. Like,
that's what I want to talk to you about today.
No. Yeah. That's a beast within itself, right?
But your podcast, man, Resilience, season 1 is already in the bag. If you haven't seen it, go watch all 8 episodes. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But what made you go from poetry to acting, and then now I want to jump into, in a sense, journalism, conversationalism? What made you want to do that?
It's like I think what really pushed it was COVID and the pandemic. Because if you're a real creative and you were stopped, right, as a creative or an artist, like, if you're a real one, then nothing's gonna stop you. Right. And that was it. Right. I'm a real one. Like, I can't stop. Right. Like, and it was that, like, how am I going to continue? So, like, taking the podcast was this space that you could take out all the bullshit. You could really use your platform and create something, right? Create conversation. And I think that's something that innately I carried, that I'm able to hold space and able to hold conversation. And that was the beautiful thing, right? And for me, it was about all these podcasts, right? And all these people talking about shit, but they ain't talking about much. Like, people, you're just flapping, right? You ain't, people, what is a pod? And for me, like, I've lived through some shit, right? And for me, it's always like that, right? We're in LA. We're in downtown. Like, I'm through and through Angelino, and I'm through and through telling this story because this shit is still happening, right? And I came from Father Greg, Homeboy Industries, right? That is the foundation of who I am. And that is a community, right? A community that holds space unlike any other part of the United States. And that is what holding space and having conversation, right? Homeboys is not the only ones that do it, but that is where I came from. Father Greg is the man that did this, right? And so, but ain't nobody talking about it, right? Like, ain't nobody really talking about the school to prison pipeline, right? Ain't nobody really talking about why fucking little innocent boys become gang members. How innocent boys become gang members, right? You're quick to like, and that shit fucking irks me, right? Like, fuck the system that fucking caged me like a fucking animal, like an animal as a little boy. Fuck that system, right? Right here, they fucking cage fucking kids, right? And it's like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? That's cool. You want to talk about fucking fashion? I want to talk about fucking little boys being stolen from our streets. Right? Like, what the fuck? And I'll give a fuck. I stay on that side. I don't go to the other side. I stay right here. Right? That's what fuck. This shit's fucking fucked up. Right? This shit brings up shit. Right? But only the real ones stay here. Right? Father Greg is my fucking first one. And I was like, damn, like, this shit sucks. That man has buried over 200 kids. Facts. Saved millions of us, but buried like on going 300. You think that shit don't hurt? Yeah, it hurts. But if you're a real one, you're gonna hold your fucking space, right? So till my fucking dying day, I'm gonna fucking hold this space, right? And my kids are gonna know, they're gonna see all the fucking glitz and glamour, but they're gonna know where I came from, right? They never have to live that shit, but they're gonna know what Pops had to endure. They're gonna know, and that's it, right? People just wanna fucking glaze over the trauma.
Yeah.
That's cheap. You're weak. You fucking face that trauma, right? You can't be a bitch, right? My house burned down. I fucking looked at my house burned down. Can't be a bitch. Did that shit fucking hurt? Yeah, it hurt. What are you gonna do? Fucking hide? You could hide, right? But it ain't gonna heal shit. You're just gonna pass on that fucking shit to your fucking kids. That's it, right? And so that's why I hold space, right? And I'm not the only one. Right? There's real men, all shapes, colors, cultures, right? And that's the fucking conversation that I want to have. Because the majority of all the shit that we're seeing in social media is bullshit. That's it, right? And I'm not the only one, you know, so, but that, I'm very specific, you know, and this is the court that I want to hold, and these are the stories that I want to tell. And yeah, like, I have this love-hate relationship with my city, but this is where the fuck I'm from, right? And I'm always gonna rep for this city.
That's powerful, man. I think what you're saying is really special too, because there are conversations that need to be had that don't necessarily always, you don't see them out in the open. That's not what's floating around on social media or the internet, unless you're going to specifically look for it, right? So I appreciate you holding space for this. I think when me and you connected, I just felt your passion, and I saw your podcast. I saw what you were already doing. And I just felt like this is something that I want to get behind. I'm already a community guy by nature. I've had similar projects in Toronto, Scarborough, made other things I've done. But to do one here with you, that's an honor for me, bro. So thank you for letting me be part of it. But also, you know, you talked about, you know, Father Greg. That was like episode 1.
Yeah.
Right. So like the podcast really is conversations that are part of your journey.
Yeah.
Father Greg, your cousin, was on it.
Right.
And then like you've explored people in the industry that have helped you. Like I heard the episode with the producer, I'm forgetting her name now.
Jamie Gertz.
Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
Bro, to hear the stories that you told there, even, you know, she's trying to help you, you show up with a black eye.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, like it was still real.
Yeah.
It was still real at that time. But look at where you are now. It's all part of the journey through conversations.
Yeah.
You know, on that note, I want to commend you as an interviewer, because the episode with prayers, wow, bro, that felt like it was a therapy session. When prayer starts talking about his pops,
about his dad. And it's that, right? Like, that's the magic of conversation, right? Like, and sometimes it's that, like, we're so guarded in our society, right? We're told to just hold it in, right? But holding it in makes you sick. Holding it in causes sickness, causes cancer, causes all this shit, right? And for me, like, I'm a ceremony man, and I'm not gonna get too into my practices, right? Because that's personal. That's between me and God. But during ceremony, the space is a safe space, right? What got me in this conversation and conversations period is understanding my ceremonial practices, right? And no matter what it is, that sacred circle is sacred, right? In that moment, anything could happen, and it's okay because God's gonna take care of it, right? And that's kind of how I see the podcast and this space, right? Like, It's okay. Like, it's like whatever happens out there. But right here, we're safe, right? Right here, no matter what happens, right? We're going to burn the medicine, right? We're going to ask God, hey, just take it all the way. And that's the magic, right? When you could feel 110% comfortable, and you could, right here, you let down the shields. Take off the armor. Our armors are back there. Right here is just pure corazón. It's pure energía. And that's what, whoever comes on my fucking podcast, whoever comes within our space, that's why, and that's where the magic happens. Right? But you have to be 100, right? You can't fake it. I have to be secure within myself and able in order to provide that space for somebody else. And if you're not secure in yourself, you will never provide that space. You're just a fucking talking head.
That's right, man. It's about creating a space that actually is safe to hold these conversations.
Because we don't come from that. The majority of our people in the ghetto, all these millions of brown, black kids in the ghetto, South Central, East LA, Boyle Heights, Pico Union, fucking Nela, right? There's millions of little boys and girls that don't have a safe space. Alcoholism, fucking violence, fucking gang shootings, fucking sexual violence going on, right? There's no safe space. So the majority of our fucking children stay guarded. So when a safe space comes to them, they don't even know how to react to it because they've never had it.
Man, the world is a place that needs way more safe spaces, man. That's just what it is. So even one at a time, bro, one safe space at a time, that encourages other people to build and build and build, and it grows.
Right.
So that's beautiful, bro. That's honestly, that's really beautiful. And the way that you approach trauma, I think, is evident through your career, through your poetry, through acting, the way that you're able to reenact certain scenes by tapping in to trauma. You use it for good.
Yeah.
You know? And on that note, I know you just talked about the trauma of your house burning down.
Yeah.
You were able to make a film out of it. Let's talk a little bit about it. I felt really, really blessed that you sent me like a first screening of it. I watched it with my wife and we were just blown away, bro. Number one, because visually as an artistic piece, it was cinematic. It was beautiful. But the message, the performance, the poetry, all mixed with seeing the visuals of this burnt down community and home. Bro, it doesn't feel like, for someone who's watching, like, oh, this is America. It looks like it's a
fucking third world country, right?
It looks like it's been bombed, or it just
the
looks
Gaza Strip or some
like
shit.
Something you would never imagine that is happening in Los Angeles, right? So to see that,
right,
and to see you in the space where it used to be your home, but it's crumbled, burnt. That's it. It's, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. It's just a shock. It's just like a shock, but there's beauty in it because of your poetry. Tell me about that piece, man. Was that your directorial debut as well?
Yeah, that was my first, that was me stepping behind that camera for the first time in my life, right? My blessed 20-year career, going on 20 years, it was my first time. And I think, like, if you're a real one, and I say a real storyteller, right? Like, you're gonna evolve in an organic way. And it was just a matter of time till I directed, right? That was my set goal. And I had been speaking this into existence probably like 2 years before, because it's that, right? Like, I've been blessed to act on great pieces with some great directors and storytellers. But at the end of the day, as an actor, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. You have no power, right? You're just waiting for fucking boss man or boss lady to pick you, right? And if that doesn't happen, then who are you? And for me, I'm a man of, I'm not waiting for nobody, right? I'm so it's like, but I understand, like you can't, just like acting, right? I wanted to be an actor, but that doesn't mean I can be an actor. What did I have to do? Training. I had to train as an actor, right? I had to commit myself to the craft of acting. That's what got me as a great actor, not by luck, right? Because I dive deep into the methods of specifically American theater acting training, right? So directing, just like that. Like, I can't, just because I've been around the greatest directors, worked on some great project, that doesn't mean that I could organically know how to direct. I had to soak it up. But the difference, as an actor coming into directing. And why it took so long? Why did it take to my early 40s? Because the thing was that when I stepped behind that to direct, that I wasn't just gonna be a director. I have to be a performer and a director.
Fuse it.
And that is a fucking thing within itself. Directing to make it look cinematically beautiful is a thing. It's hard work within itself, right? Just directing. But then to fucking act. Right? And it took me a minute to like how, because I couldn't, right? I'm going to direct it, but of course I'm going to act in it. Motherfuckers call me all and fly me all around the world to act in their shit. So how am I not going to act in my shit?
That's right.
Right? So I wanted it to be of that, right? And so that was it. But it was like, God forced it all to happen, right? Like, this was the shot. Who is much better is gonna fucking direct my home burning down than me? Who's gonna know the nuances? Who's gonna know what to really see? But me.
Right.
It's gonna feel it right here, right? So it was like, God, this was the moment, right? And so I wrote the piece. I had the piece, but I knew that that it wasn't for me, that this piece, that this conversation was much bigger than us, that this piece was much bigger than me, right? It was for LA. This was for Los right here, right? This is for my 18 neighbors that burned in their house that I passed and I didn't even know that they were dead. That's who it was for, right? And if I can't, what am I gonna do? Hide behind what God's telling me? If I didn't do this, I would die inside. Because it would, and I did it, right? I had it, and I was like, now what? And it all came to me. I've been in this industry for 20 fucking years, right? I know exactly how this directing shit happens. I've been with the greatest, right? And it all came, zoom. I made the call, boom, 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 right? And they all came. All my artists, filmmakers came. We're here for you, Rich. We're here, right? You called, we're here. And God was like, they're here, Rich. And I was like, all right, next step, right? And I told all of them, I was like, hey, guys, this is my first time. Be patient with me. Right? I'm humble. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm not trying to fucking know. I don't know it all, right? I've learned from the greatest, right? The greatest directors know that they don't know it all. The greatest directors are the greatest collaborators. The greatest directors are the greatest listeners. Right? And they were like, well, don't trip. We all here, baby. We're all here, right? We know why we're here. And we fucking one day, right? We scouted, right? We came back. Shit was clean. We came back and we said 1 day, 8 hours. Let's go. And we made that fucking film happen in 8 hours, you know? We just fucking boom. We just jumped, right? Location to location. And we made that shit happen, you know? And that was it, bro. We we knew when we were there, right? The last shot, if you see, there's a hawk in it. One of the last scenes there was this house. Because the thing was, things were getting cleaned up. How we shot, this is how we shot it, bro. We wanted to shoot at my house, right? But by the time we got there, that shit was already down. So we were kind of working on, so we were on the last 2 weeks before Altadena was totally clean.
Right.
But we made it happen, bro. And the last shot, we knew that God had bestowed its magic on this film, because the last shot, we heard this thing, and there was this big old beautiful hawk in the house with us.
I was gonna ask you about that closing scene, how that was. So that was just
God.
That was God, man. Wow.
That was the spirits of filmmaking. Those are the gods being like, we got you, mijo. We're here, mijo. Right? And that's why you see, I incorporate my spirituality. I got that eagle wing. That's the eagle wing. That's that Quatli right there with that copal burning. That wasn't for the film. That was for the blessing of the film. And the hawk came. Right? So what was that? Oh, well, this is all right, cool. Next phase, post. All right? And boom, and here we are. And I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful for the world to see. I'm grateful for the Angelinos to see, and so now we're on that journey to see.
Is there release plans for it?
Well, we're submitting to we have a couple favorite festivals that we've submitted to, right? And so we're on the festival circuit right now. We're gonna do the festival circuit because this is a piece of art. You know, we wanted to get its honor in that way.
It should.
And then, you know, we're gonna come back home. We're actually doing a special screening, a 2-day event. I'm inviting you right now.
Amazing.
It's at Plaza de la Raza. So my first screening in LA is with Plaza.
Okay.
So we're doing a whole event for a family, a little girl that goes to Plaza. She was up in Altadena. They lost everything like us. So we're doing a benefit for them. We're showing the film for 2 days. And all the money, my son's doing his photography. He's gonna be selling prints of the fire, and a percentage of what we raise that day is going to the family.
I'm there. Thank you for the invite, bro. That's amazing. I think this film is the type of film festival film. Like, it deserves to do that circuit.
Yeah.
You know, and then hopefully find a distribution that picks it up. It's a beautiful film, bro. So congratulations on that. I know it was painful to like even go back and like see some of that stuff, but again,
but art heals, bro. Art heals.
You use trauma to heal, to create art. So that's amazing, man. I do want to talk a little bit about spirituality, just because you've mentioned it a couple of times in this conversation already. I know, like, even just watching some of your old stuff, I was watching this doc that's on YouTube. It's like a 3-hour cut of your whole life, bro. Of your early life. I've seen the
early days.
I saw the whole thing.
Right.
I watched the whole thing. I'm like, oh, this is like interesting watching your whole journey. But there is a part in there where you talk about rehabilitating through, I think it was like a men's Christian food bank.
Right.
And then you talk about finding Christ.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, that's interesting, because the Rich that I know today, like the conversations we've had about spirituality, almost seems more around ancestral traditions.
For sure.
And then, so like, tell me about the evolution of your spirituality. Do you still believe in Christ? Do you still like?
I don't. Okay, Christ is real. We all know that story is real. It happened, right?
Yeah.
It happened. But as far as a believer and a practitioner, no, not at all, right? And again, I think I agree with that. That the way you said it is that my practice is more ancestral, connection. But it's kind of it's this. My family comes from Mexico. My grandmas come from Zacatecas and San Luis Potosí, right? And that's the heart of my birth of spirituality. And so I gotta honor my Catholicism that I received from my abuelitas, right? Catholicism is not following Christ. Catholicism is following Christ, but we do it different. Mexicanos do it different. And specifically the santos, right? Ma Santo Niño de Atocha, right? And the Virgencita, those two saints, right? That my abuelitas prayed to are part of me, right? Mixed in with my ancestral connection to my native people from Mexico and the native ceremonies that still exist to this day, right? Because if you want to talk about spirituality or religion, what does that even mean, right? And I'll sum it up. It's the unseen. It's the energy of the unseen, right? And the energy of the unseen is they still pray in that way in Mexico, right? And so that's where I think I lie at, right? But I'll give it to all, I've been practicing and trained in the Lakota ceremonial ways, specifically shout out to my boys out there in Pine Ridge Reservation, Wombly, town of Wombly, right? That altar, that's it. I've been blessed to connect with them, for them to show me them old ways, right? I'm a Mexican that was born in America, so my ties to Mexico are not fluid, right? I didn't grow up like that. I grew up, English is my first language. So connecting to my ancestral spirituality actually started with my brothers up in South Dakota in Pine Ridge Reservation, right? And when I put it all together, they call it Turtle Island, from the tip of Alaska to the bottom of South America. Native Americans call this Turtle Island, right? So they were the first introduction to them old ways and to them ceremonial ways. I practice with my boys up there. I still practice, ceremonies with my Lakota bros. But during probably like my 10th to 15 year out, I knew that it was grateful that I studied the Lakotas, but I knew that my blood is from Mexico, and our South America, that my Native Americans from the South, we do it similar, but we do it different, right? Lakotas have sweat lodges. We have sweat lodges, but we don't call them sweat lodges. We call them temescals, right? They do their sweat lodge with willow trees. We in Mexico do our sweat lodge with adobe, right? It's more to the earth. There's same similarities, right? So with that being said, that's how I could sum up where I'm at today, right? Honoring my abuelitas and my Catholicism, the santos, but also honoring my ancestral journey.
It's a beautiful spiritual journey. I also asked because we've talked about this too. It's in your poetry.
Yeah.
You talk about praying to the Virgencita, but also having other traditions.
Yeah.
And to someone who's
and that's fluid. What I'm saying, bro, you go to Mexico. Yeah. I don't know about any, but you go to Mexico, you go to the soc, you go, bro. It's that, right? There's a templo with the Indian, right? That's like, bro, I went perfect. You go to the Basilica de la Virgen, right? Where it all happened, the Cerro de Tepeyac, right? You go to the first church from 1527, right? There's angels painted in that, right? God. All the angels are Indians, are Native Americans, right? Are Indios, but they're straight Mexica, call it what you will, right? They're Indios. Those angels, I swear, my favorite part of the Basilica is looking at those frescoes from 1500s and seeing that those angels are Indios.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I love that, man. I love to hear the way that you approach a project, right? So you honor it by even blessing the project before you come in it. I'm assuming this is something you do before you take on any role, right? Let's talk about this film, 11 Days.
11 Days.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm excited.
You told me a little bit about it before.
I'm excited.
When you had just got casted. And when you told me, I was like, bro, I'm really excited about this. And then now you announced it, so we could talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. And now I seen the screening, this a couple of days ago, so it's fresh. I seen the screening of 11 Days with Peter Landsman, the director. He invited me and Diego Luna, and it was beautiful. I was able to share that experience with my son and Diego's, his other half. But yeah, I mean, I'm blessed to have had. I'm going on 20 years, right? Of having this blessed career, right? And if you work in this industry, I believe, it goes like this, right? It goes like this, right? You have your highs, if this is your career. And I've seen, I know that this one was a special one, right? And it was in the beginning of my career, it was very hard, right? Because no one could prepare you for this, right? I'm a barrio kid. I'm straight from the barrio. Like there's nobody that I could reference. Like, hey, how is it to walk on a red carpet? Like, you just gotta figure it out, right? So I feel like I'm on the second half of my great career right now, right? The first one, Emmy nominations, series regs, right? Fucking, all these movies that hit. That are within our culture. And other cultures love it too, but with movies and the watch, right? Marked ones, Paranormal Activity, like I did some hitters, right? And so, what's what I'm trying to say, like, I know that once I got the call for this one, and I knew that this was gonna be a special one. It was my second time with Diego Luna, right? It was my second movie with Diego Luna. The last time I did a movie, so I'm gonna just roll on that. Diego Luna. Motherfucking Andor. Motherfucker, Narcos, baby. Yeah. He hadn't done that. I did a movie with them in New Mexico with Mel Gibson. This was like Bloodfather, right?
Yeah.
This was 10 years ago. Diego, from 10 years where Diego's not now, bro. I get the call. They're like, hey, you're gonna be back with Diego and Tenoch. I was like, what fucking Tenoch, right, bro? Like, I'm Mexican, but we know who are our hitters. We know, right? And then there was only 3 parts, right?
Sorry, bro. We're downtown for real. This is what it is.
This is what it is. It's just the magic, right?
This is what it is. But you're saying so
there was 3 parts, right? Yeah. Is you got Diego and Tenoch, and then it was me. This were the characters that were gonna carry the whole true movie. This is a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's a true story.
It's a true story. This is not just a fucking movie right here. That's another thing.
Can you talk a little? So the storyline is it's in prison, and there's a.
So this is one of the biggest.
In Texas.
And it's like this, guys. What I want people to understand, especially from our culture or from cultures that are not represented or underrepresented, right? They only town, if you're in a country, it could be other countries, right? I'm not just saying it's America, and your culture is not on the skin color of who is running the country, not all your people's stories get told. Facts.
That's facts.
Right? So this is what I want you, like, this was one of the biggest historical things of the country, of this nation, right? It was the longest prison siege in U.S. history by 3 Chicanos. Fucking 3 Chicanos. Mexicanos. One was from Mexico, but you got busted on this side, so you're part of the Chicanos now. Happened here. 3 Chicanos, right? The main one had bro, we've never heard this story.
Yeah,
it happened the same. We heard about Attica. Everybody's heard about Attica.
Right.
So how in the fuck did you hear about Attica, but you didn't hear about Huntsville 11-day prison siege? We haven't heard of it, right? They buried this bitch for fucking 50 years. Well, check it out. You couldn't bury it that good, right? Because this story is coming out. It was the longest prison siege. Freddy Carrasco, which was Chapo Guzman of the 1970s in Texas. He was the boss, bro. He's Chapo, right? Just call him what, he has. So he ends up, and it's we told a part of his story, but there's so much story that wasn't told because you only could tell what you could tell in 2 hours, right? So the story is Freddy Carrasco, they're hunting him forever. They finally find him a Tejano. He was Chicano, but specifically, shout out to our Tejanos from Texas, right? San Antonio, he gets into a shootout at a hotel in San Antonio, and that's it. They've been tracking him. They tell him they're gonna give him life. They bust him with his wife. So this is true. This is true part of the story. He tells the DA, if you take off the charges for my wife, you could do whatever you want. So to free his wife, which we don't tell that, it's fucking romantic as fuck, right? Mexicano, Rosa was her name, right? Rosa, he was like, if you release Rosa, you just give me all the charges. I'll take it off.
Right.
They give him life. Okay? But he's a boss. He's sitting in Huntsville prison. Now, Huntsville, guys, pull up Huntsville. If you're seeing this shit, Huntsville prison is a thing within itself. Huntsville prison is 1 hour away from Houston, in the middle of fucking Texas, and it's the oldest prison of the South that survived the Civil War, 1848. We talk about slave rights, modern day slavery. We've heard this term, right? But in Huntsville, there's no denying it because there was literally slaves in that prison,
right? And
it's still there. So it's called the Walls Unit, bro. And not only that. This has been the prison where they've killed and executed more people than any other prison in the United States. They've done all executions there. So if they're on death row, the day of death row, they come to Huntsville and they execute them there.
Wow.
Right? So we're there, bro. We're going to do this movie. We're telling so it was an 11-day siege. Freddy's in there. The story is he's there for a year. And around a year, he ends up, because he's Chapo, 1974, he ends up getting 357 snuck in to the facility, and they hold, I forgot how many hostages for 11 days in the library, right? I'm not going to spoil the movie for it, but it doesn't end. People perish, right? And that's the story, bro. That's the fucking story. And like, it's this was by far one of the greatest films that I have done in my career, right?
I'm excited.
Because all the magic happens in the library. You're literally watching me, Diego, and Tenoch fucking hold these hostages for 11 days in the fucking library. And shit gets fucked up. Bro. You got, and not just, bro, you got Taylor Kish, Jason Isaac, right? But you got like, it's not just us, guys. So you got the Güeros and the Mexicanos. It's just like the greatest, but it's by far. And like, I seen it. It doesn't stop. And I love at the end, they it's the true story. And they have like beautiful, true photos, the real photos that happened. And so anyhow, that's the gist of it. It's happening. They're submitting to, you know, to the greatest festivals right now. And this year we're up and running, guys. And I'm gonna strike, and I'm not gonna let this opportunity. And this is like this, guys. I'm gonna tell you like this, right? For those that are ever hearing of like, I didn't know how special my life was. Right? I thought if you worked hard, everybody could get Emmy nominated. But it doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm. No.
Right? And I think where I'm at now, why things are happening, like, I don't fuck with the community like that. I don't. Right? My gift to the community is right here. Nobody will ever touch me again. I will never be in a community space like that. And I say that, right, because I think isolation is the only way you could truly grow. Right? When you're part of the fucking system, you think like the system. You can't be an individual in a system. You just think like everybody else. And if anything, then you got to watch out for your energy, because people are trying to suck your energy. Right. Consciously or unconsciously. That's what's out here. But I didn't understand, right? Because I was still trying to be, I was created and born from community, right? But I became a great artist, right? And I think those two worlds don't mesh for me. Right? Me, if I want to grow and to be the greatest artist, I need to fucking be isolated with my craft and understand what this is, because I had no understanding on all the great things that had happened to me. That's where I'm at, right? And so this opportunity, I'm going to handle it in the most delicate, beautiful, and I'm going to honor this. I'm going to honor the spirits and the gods that made me be a part of this, right? And I'm going to take this opportunity to be for the next one, right? And it's that, right? I don't want to be, everybody wants to be a storyteller. Everybody wants to do things, but you not everybody is cut like that, right? And for me, I only want to be with individuals that are doing things to sum it up. Of the highest, I only want to be with individuals that are doing things as us on the highest caliber.
Right. I know last time we jumped on a call, we had a similar conversation, bro. You had my mind racing because I was like, you said something similar. You were like, look, if you want to do something different, you can't surround yourself with it's the same thing you're saying to me, like right now in this conversation.
Yeah, it's all coming to me. I was listening to Alan Watts when I called you. Right? I don't listen, and when I'm driving, I don't listen to a lot of music. I go through my periods. I'll listen through rap just to get me going. Sometimes, most of the time, I'm listening to things. Right? Right now, this is the season I'm at, and every part of your life, you're in a different season. Right? And it's like God gives you what you need to get through this season. Right now, surrounded. I came back to Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle. It's that, right? We're gonna come back to mental health, right? Because you could talk about the spirituality, we could talk about art, but if you don't have mental health, if you don't have a mental understanding of what this is, you're fucked. Yeah, you're fucked, right? And for me, I try to surround myself with things that bring up my spirit, bring up my health, bring up and bring up my mentality, right? And it's right now I'm in the season. I've studied them all. It's one of the great things that we didn't talk about is because, yeah, it's spirit, but it's not just spirit. I'm a reader, bro. I was a vegetarian for almost 10 years, 8 years. Wow. Right? They say, and that was all my deep, I'm a fucking reader. If you want to know where I'm at, I'm a deep reader. I read academic books. I read things that are just going to take what I need, right? To be fulfilled, and it's that, right? I look at our culture, right? I came from a Mexican culture, but very specific, not from Mexico. I came from a Mexican culture from California, right? The barrio. And that essence, is very limited, bro. The barrio, the Chicano, call it what you want. We have not tapped into thresholds as other cultures. Who? Asians, right? I'm gonna speak of the Asians, right? Because I love the Asian community in Los Angeles because of what they've done, right? They have cities, bro. They got their own fucking banks. Koreatown is fucking, and it's like they understood something that we didn't, right? They're not from here. They're from another fucking country, just like us, right? But they understood, they tapped into something where they could evolve their community. They don't got perfect. They still got their shit, but they got banks, for God's sakes, right? They got things. And for me, I saw our community, I maxed out, and I was like, fuck, this is all? Now I'm going to search, let me look at another community that I kind of like, right? Buddhism came to me, right? Indian philosophy, right? Osho was one of my favorite poets, right? And Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, right? The autobiography of a yogi fucked me up and fucked prayers up. Autobiography of a yogi. There's only a few of us, cholos, homies that have evolved to this level, right? There's only a few of us. Let me start right here. Rest in peace, my boy Spanto, West Side Venice, right? Prayers, right? That's my SD boy and me. There's only a few of us, right? And so it's that, but like seeking spirituality elsewhere and reading is what kind of helped me evolve to where I am at today, right? But going back, Alan Watts, I was tapping back into Alan Watts. And what Alan Watts says, right, is that the only way that you could truly grow is through isolation. And that shit hit me because I was institutionalized as a young child. I always want to be by myself. You know, in jail, I prefer to cell live than to dorm live. Some homies like to live with everybody else because they could get up from their bunks. You know, there's more freedom. That shit fucks me up. I used to always try to put myself in a cell, right? I would purposely get in trouble to fucking rape. I don't want to be with everybody, right? And so I understood that. But during that, my first quantum internal growth was in prison. Mm-hmm. When I came out at 23 or 20, first time I came out of prison, I was a fucking changed man. I was a thinker, right? And so isolation, what he says that, and I think to sum it up, what he says is that if you are constantly amongst others, whether it's your family, friends, call it what you will, co-workers, you cannot grow internally, right? And it's like this. One of the biggest, and I was like, damn, because you're trained on how to communicate. You're always trying to think of the next person. Oh, I can't say, do they like cuss words? I can't do that, right? Does he understand that? Every moment you're trying to appease not yourself, you're trying to appease others constantly. And when you go home, you're fucking exhausted. That's what he says, right? I was like, yeah. Because why? Because you built up so much energy on trying to be what others want you to be. Right. Because if you don't act accordingly in that circle of others, what is that circle of others going to do? Whether it's your friends or family, what are they going to do if you do not understand the way to communicate with them? They're going to ostracize you. Yeah. Consciously or unconsciously. Not accepting your phone calls, maybe disrespecting you right there, but you're not here. So they're going to push you out. That's not the real you. The only real you is when you're by yourself because your guard's off and you don't have to appease others.
You know what's fascinating, man, is like, as you're saying this, I'm like, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. I'm like, that's me, bro.
Alan Watts, baby. Alan Watts.
Because of the industry that we're also in.
Bro.
Right? I mean, with any life.
Any life, right? Any life, fucking, right? Work, social, whatever.
But you're right, though. I do find myself constantly thinking more in a scenario about what other people will think or how to appease rather than sometimes being free to be myself, you know? Right. So that's great advice, man. So I guess the thing is, I know that you're someone that says something and you live it. Because, bro, we had a conversation when you released the song, which I want to get into as well. And I was like, bro, that's dope. You're doing rap again.
Yeah.
And you just, to me, you're a free spirit.
That's it, baby. That's it, baby. You just gotta, yeah.
You're free. So like you go from acting to poetry, and then you're like, yo, I don't care. I want to rap now. And you literally dropped the song with Lefty Gunplay. Yeah. Dope track.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you have your hand. No one's gonna tell you can't do that.
No.
Oh, you're an actor. You want to be in Hollywood. Why are you rapping, bro?
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah. And it's that, right? Like, it's that, like, I don't know why, right? But I don't question it, right? And I think it's that, like, things come to you, and then before an action happens, it has to be a thought. But you have to discern what thoughts are gonna help you or what thoughts might fucking fuck you, right? And I think for me, like, once it's a thought that makes sense for my evolution, and that speaks to my heart, because I think art is not of the mind. True art is not of the mind, is of the heart, right? And I think during that season, I came from music, right? And I've always been connected to and like all of my people from music when I grow up, I still stay connected with them boys, right? Because that was the evolution, right? It was storytelling through music, then through storytelling through acting and filmmaking now. But it's at that time, that season, right? God was like, here you are. Lefty came right there, and I was like, I felt it, right? It's something that's not what I thought. You just feel it. And yeah, and a song came out. But like, I think when after I did it, I released the EP, I just looked at it, and I checked in with myself. I just truly checked in with myself. And like the music world, I came from there, all the little homies that are doing it, like amazing. Like but I think it was very hard to get on this side. And it's that if you put your energy too much, you're only doing mediocre shit. Right? If you think, cool, you're doing 5 things, you're doing 5 of them mediocre. I'd rather do 1 thing or 2 things at the highest fucking level than fucking 10 things that are just like whatever.
Right.
Right? And so for me, like the music's cool, but it's a different thing. For me, my heart as with the artist is with filmmakers. And that's the place where we have not tapped in. The little homies, they're all on Kendrick's album, Peso and fucking Lefty, right? They're doing it, right? But we do not have a Chicano, Mexicano, not from Mexico, from here, from the States, right? To have crossed into filmmaking on the highest level. I want to be one of the first ones.
I think you're already there, bro. You're already the one. You're already one of the guys here that's becoming that visible face, man. So I'm happy to see you continue to grow in that path. And on that note, I want to ask you too, like, how do you evolve from here? Because your journey has already been like this. The whole time. It's already been climbing.
How do I evolve from here, right? And this is for the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution, right? Well, you evolved when you had a child, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
That's a part. It's crazy. Children, I'm just saying it right now. I didn't even think about it, but children are the only thing that could evolve from you that is not physically attached to you. That's your evolution, whether you fucking accept it or you don't. Your baby is a part of your evolution.
Right.
And you're responsible for that evolution.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to fuck up that evolution.
Yeah.
You're looking at my evolution.
Yeah.
My son's sitting with us right now. That fool's bright-eyed, fucking talks to you direct. He does artist shit that I can't do. He is my evolution. I've tapped into photography without even tapping into photography because of my son.
That's beautiful.
I got 3 more. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're evolving.
That's a great way to look at it, man. It's a natural lineage of growth.
Of evolution.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, what? They're yours? How? I mean, you're involved, but they're yours. They're part of you. Right? That's how I see it. Right? My daughter, she's on her way to New York to play fucking softball. Fuck, I can't do that shit. But she's part of me. And if my daughter playing softball in fucking New York or going to school in New York, oh shit, I went to school in New York. Whatever. They don't know that. Dude, I did it too.
Why? That's a good way to look at it, man. That's a good way to look at it. I love that.
My son had his first solo short in LA. I had one too, because that's my son.
I'm going to remember this conversation as my son grows.
Right? I did it too. Did you ever did it? No, I ever done that then? No, I didn't, but I did it now. You're mine. Pendejo.
I love it. He's just over here.
He's like, this fool talk shit all day. Like, I'm gonna fuck. He just cancels me out. He's like, this fool, yeah, he's talking shit right now.
Oh man, bro, this conversation was great, man. Thank you. I wanna end on a couple of like rapid fire notes.
Go ahead. Let's run.
Okay. First one, I have to ask you, what's the best Richard Cabral role? What's the best
theater?
Oh,
theater. You want acting? Fuck film and television. I'll do it. No. Film and I love film and television, but I'm an actor of the theater. All day. There will never be a role on film and television that will surpass my feelings for the theater. Shout out to Stephen Ali Gergis.
So would you say like your one-man show?
My one-man show, but it's like, the thing about it, whether it's a just amazing fucking role in the theater, because they're all me, right? They're all me. Whether it's a one-man show, you're seeing me for an hour and 10 minutes, or whether I'm just giving you this performance that's it, right? Like, and that's it, right? I don't pigeon my hole in like, oh, I want to be what, I just want to do great. I know where I'm going to go. And I just want to be with people that are going to go there with me. And the place where my heart fulfills most as an artist is live theater with y'all. Because the special thing that film will never give you, that the theater can't, is that immediate energy. Whether it's a black box theater of 50 people, or whether you're sitting in an auditorium of 1,000, right? When you speak, they speak. And it's this beautiful, if they cry, then you really went there, right? They cried because you were able to. And that's something that film and television will never give me.
Theater is beautiful, man. And I feel like you're the right kind of actor for that too. Because you bring the passion and the energy.
Yeah.
That's what theater
That's
needs,
it,
man.
right? And it's the oldest form of art in this fucking world. Thousands. I'm part of a lineage. I am blessed to say that I am part of a lineage that is of thousands of years old. That it still exists, and you cannot do it. AI will never do what we have been doing for thousands of years.
Next question. Should Scarface, which is a classic film that's considered a Latino film,
right?
Should it be considered a Latino film, considering that the lead was not Latino?
Yeah, Scarface, that was the worst Cuban accent I've ever heard in my life. My ex-wife is Cuban, so I could say that.
Right.
I'm Calle Ocho, I'm up in Kendo in Miami all day. I could say that. And I love Pacino, right? One of my alts, but that was the worst accent ever, right? Beyond that, but it is a Latino. To answer your question, I feel it should be a Latino film because it's a Latino story. That really happened, right? The 80s, the boat, them coming on, like that really happened. The cocaine cowboys is a real thing.
Right.
So yeah, yes.
Best Latino music film between these two, Selena or La Bamba, if you had to pick one.
I think you forgot Zoot Suit though, but all right.
Okay, we can do Zoot Suit in there. You want to do Zoot Suit?
Nah, that's cool. Go, Selena.
Selena.
Yeah, all day. That's my dad's from he went to El Paso. My brother and sister Tejano. So
okay.
Selena.
Crown the best Latino classic out of these. Okay. So I'm gonna give you two, then you pick one, and that goes on to the next round. Okay.
Okay, go.
Boulevard Nights or Mi Vida Loca / Mike.
Boulevard Nights all day.
Okay. Boulevard Nights or Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver or My Family, Mi Familia.
Mi Familia. Straight Boyle Heights.
Yeah, that's
White
classic.
Fence right there.
Mi Familia or American Me.
Ooh. I was a cholo a large part of my life, so American Me.
American Me or Blood In, Blood Out?
American Me.
Oh,
never.
really?
Blood In, Blood Out. It doesn't matter. You guys didn't get it right.
Okay, tell me.
I'm gonna tell why. Blood In, Blood Out. You didn't use real homies.
In which way though? I thought that they did.
They didn't. Who's real?
Well, in the prison scene.
But bro, there's no characters. At least Eddie. The thing is, this is why. I'm gonna sum it up.
Yeah, sum it up for me.
Eddie almost, because you had Eddie do it. You had Eddie. That's why the bet because you had a Mexican American from here do it. Blood In, Blood Out was the white man.
You talking about in terms of
director? Who directed it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the fucking fine. That's Papa. That's our father. That's the one, right? But bro, you did not see it was false, bro. No one talks like Mi Vida Loca. Orale Holmes, if you talk like that, you're lame. You're stupid. Orale, no, bro, we don't. Service, no, nobody talks like that. East LA, baby. Boyle Heights. My family's from B&E. I'm from the water. We don't talk like, no. No one cares about the Pino. I promise you. Nobody cares about the Pino. We don't, if the Pino don't mean shit in East LA to us. Nobody's like, hey, let's have a family picnic at the Pino.
You're destroying all my...
I swear to God, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you the fucking truth. From the land, bro. This ain't, and East LA, is East LA for you guys? It's not Silver Lake and it's not Echo Park. You got to hit Boyle Heights on this side. Welcome to the East side.
I love this, man. Okay, but what about the controversy around American Me?
Bro, people died. I'm not going to say Eddie fucked up, bro.
Okay,
Eddie almost fucked up in that film. It was so real that motherfuckers died.
Yeah.
He fucked up. I'm not, did he fuck up? Yeah. But if you want to talk about, you're asking me authenticity. I'm not talking about what's right or what's wrong. If you were telling me what's right or what's wrong, yes, I would never say that American Me was the right movie because 10 innocent people died behind that movie. Eddie fucked up. Right? I've worked with the man, but but blood in, blood out, no one fucked up. Right? But I'd rather have a bullshit ass movie and nobody die than a fucking authentic movie and 10 people die. Put that on there, I'm not... Well, don't chop me up, motherfuckers. If you see the other part, somebody else find and back me up. TikTok, they chop that shit up, make you fucking No, people.
Well, the thing is that you always stay true to yourself. I always say this to you too. I feel like your superpower is authenticity.
Yeah,
right? You're always gonna go for what's more real.
The truth is the truth is the truth is the truth.
Yeah,
I go for the truth. My favorite subject. It's like I'm a storyteller, but I think that what cemented who I am as a storyteller is I'm a history buff. Do your own knowledge, bro. Our stories are not given. Do your own research, right? Because if you believe what's just given on TikTok, you're fucking up. You sound stupid. I do my research. I read, bro. The history, it has to track. If it doesn't track, then it's not truthful. Tracks. Right?
Yeah. I like what you said about American Me being directed by a Latino as well, right? Like,
and not only, bro, and Latino was not even real. I want to talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about
Latino is not real. There's no country that's Latino. I'm not a Latino. I'm a Mexican. From Guatemala, cool. You're from, you're Salvadoreño, cool. We don't mix. The only time we mix is when we're standing at the line at the immigration office. We're different cultures.
We are different cultures.
Completely different cuisines. The way we speak Spanish, Latin does not exist.
So
You're confused if you say you're Latin.
When you say, what about when somebody says they're Asian?
I don't know. I didn't come from Asia. I'm a Mexican. I don't know. I don't know what it is to be a Muslim. I know this is the greatest thing that Father Greg told me on this journey. It was my first time speaking in a public space. I had big people, right? And I was so nervous, bro. I was so, and I, Pops, what's up, mijo? I gotta, and he's like, let's meet at Placito Luera. He's like, we'll eat some taquitos and then we'll walk to Adana. And I told, hey, Pops. And he's like, son, stops me. And I was like, what's up, Pops? You only speak of what you lived through, son. That's it. That's all you could speak of, my son.
That makes sense.
Like, and then it just all came like.
Yeah.
And then I remember I got up there and I was like, oh, Richard, all right, I'm going to tell you. You're going to ask me this question? Well, let me reference it and what happened to me. Because that's my only truth. And for me, the greatest speaker of our time in LA specifically is Father Greg Boyle. Greatest speaker. And if he knows how to storytell. Great Pop is a storyteller. But if you listen, he only tells stories of what he personally went through, period. He's not going to get you some bullshit ass philosophy.
Yeah. I loved him on the podcast, on your episode. Yeah, that was great. Okay, so I like this conversation because I'm getting into things I've never even talked about. So for you, Latino is not a thing.
It doesn't exist. It's not, but it's not a thing. What do you mean? Like, it has to physically be something. A thing must be physically. This is a water bottle, right? There's water. Oh, cool, there's water, right? Oh, Mexican. Oh, here's one, right? Oh, fucking Salvadoreño. Oh, yeah, that's one. What is Latin?
Well, I'm saying Latino in the sense of in the sense of people grouping together to identify as unity, right? So when I say, maybe I'm incorrect, I could be incorrect, but in the sense of I'm Salvadoreño, you're Mexicano, but together we're united as Latinos, unless that is incorrect.
I'm united with a human being right now.
Of course.
That has similar things, bro. And I think that Latin word, that's why I'm so against it.
Yeah.
That it has done more damage than it has done help. Because I take it to my industry, right? And you have these circles, all right, Latin, whatever the fuck. There's been Latin circles for 20 years. Let me just start. For 20 years in this industry.
Right.
What true push has it really done in my industry?
No.
What true push has it done, right? The only the Latino rising stars, right? Right now, music is, they're not saying they're Latin. Willie Chavarria, he's a Mexicano. They're not saying I'm Latin. I'm not saying that it has to be, but I'm just saying these men are centered in we're not Latin. That's me though, right? Everybody could take, but I don't identify myself like that. On the questionnaire, when it says Mexican, white, other, I cross out all of them, I put Mexican. Mexican.
Specific.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Fucking Mexican, right? I was born on this side, but that's it.
Right.
And I don't even know what really American is. Like, I'm so, right? Like,
right.
So I identify with my grandma's, my grandmother's tongue. I'm a Mexican, but that's me, right? But the biggest thing, what have these Latino circles really pushed?
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like, in a sense, we have all been grouped together in the public eye and media, just maybe for the sake of grouping us together, right? I've always looked at it more as a unity. I like to be able to say me and Rich have something in common culturally, right? That's the only reason why I would say together we're Latinos. But I understand the differences.
And it's like, bro, but like if you, I don't know, I'm not, but because Salvador, right?
Yeah.
Like, bro, Mexico, these three countries, they're kind of like the same. We're all primos.
Yeah.
No, specifically Guatemala, Salvador, and Mexico, the south. Yeah. Right? There's no line, right? Oh, it's the same land, right? So there's something. I can't say that I would connect with somebody from Argentina right here. The same one I'll say from Chile, from Chile or Cubano. I feel that there's, and that's it, right? I honestly, that's my opinion. But honestly,
does this go back more to ancestral? Because you're right, the countries that you listed, ancestrally, we share the same ancestry.
Right? You like tamales, we like tamales. Right? You have a little salsino.
So for you, it's ancestral.
Yeah. Like that it just makes me be like, oh, I understand, like, you like that. It's old, right? It's old. Like our DNA, we've been breaking bread for a very long time. I just feel it. It's something that I feel. Right? And when there's things, we our people are the same. Right? Our people pray in similar ways. You guys you have Catholicism. They do ceremonies over there too.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So there's these and that's it. But I can't connect like with this. I swear, with somebody from Chile, somebody from Argentina. That's it. I have, we could have, but as far as connecting in a real way and specifically to this land, specifically to LA, it's something very specific, right? And so yeah, that's.
This conversation went somewhere I didn't think it was gonna go, but it's fascinating, bro. I feel like I'm learning even more about you, like through the way that you connect to the land and to people and your outlook on culture.
Right, and like it's like, bro, like LA, and it's that they're so, bro. It's like they make you feel that you're not a part of it, right? Because they don't tell you the entire story, right? My people, Mexican Californians, right, have been in LA since 1781.
Yeah.
We didn't go nowhere. Why is this Mexican, everywhere you go, Mexicanos right here? Because we've been here since 1781.
Yeah. This used to be Mexico.
It's but it's not only, like, we're still here. If you come to East LA, it still feels like Mexico.
Yeah.
And those are the stories that I'm really trying to uncover right now. We've been not even lied to. We don't have all the information. And when you honestly figure out who you are and go back to when you honestly track back to your research, you will figure out who you are. And that's all. I'm just trying to hold my space for the people that have done the work that made me be able to do this work.
This was dope, bro. I learned a lot, man.
Okay.
My outlook changes every time I talk to you. I start thinking about different things. I start maybe looking at things differently. So I feel like every time we have an exchange, even on the phone or however we talk, bro, I always learn something. I'm always thinking differently. I feel like you're an elevated guy. You're thinking on different levels, you know?
Yeah.
That's what, bro, again, we're going to end it now, but
yeah, okay.
The podcast, I'm excited to jump in with you.
Yeah.
I feel like these conversations that you're going to have with your guests are going to really inform the public, bro, inform the audience, people who are watching. So, bro, I'm hyped to do this with you.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming through.
Of course, brother. Of course.
I appreciate you, bro.